Hi, I'm Terry with Early Girls Yarn. So excited that you are here to help me start kind of a new adventure, I guess, in my fiber world. I decided to start podcasting. So I've been thinking about it for a bit. What really made me jump in on it and go for it was the February challenge by Creative CC started it, and she had a prompt. So it's for the whole month of November. There's all these different prompts that you're supposed to answer and post. So the prompt on, it was day 6 or day 7 was, this is my fiber family. And it just really got me thinking. I'm like, my goodness, I don't have a fiber family. My cousin and my Aunt Marcia and my mom all knit. So I text them. We moved about a year and a half ago. So, but even before I moved, I wasn't close to any type of yarn store. We moved to the Quad Cities area on the Iowa side. There were 2, but they have both closed like within a month of us moving. So there's new town, no fiber community here that I know of anyway. I'm sure that there are people that knit. It's not like at a store where you can go and meet them and hang out and have coffee. And I began to realize as I looked that day, how many other people are in the same situation that don't have a fiber community, that depend on Instagram and podcasts and those types of things for that sense of community. So I don't know, it just made me think and say, well, I'm going to do it. What I'm hoping to get out of this personally, I'm really hoping, and you'll see in a little bit, that it helps with some accountability with finishing projects. And by that, I mean, I get them off the needles, no problem. But weaving in ends and blocking them, it'll sit for years. And so I'm hoping for that. Also hoping to just get some new Insta friends and new friends, just fiber friends, and continue to share that love that I love so much. So I'll share a little bit about how my fiber philosophy started. So I was about 4 years ago and I was really stressed at work. I'm a loan officer. I was really stressed at work. So my cousin Katie knit and she's like, you should try it. It's really relaxing. I'm like, all right. So I went and got some yarn and we'll talk about that first project here, in another episode. But I got some yarn and had a fail and then got into it, figured it out, got into it. And I'm also a paper crafter. I was a stamper and a paper crafter and very heavily. So I had a ton of supplies. And I just knew I didn't want another hobby that I was just collecting things and not using them. So I remembered, my aunt always reminds me, we were at a lunch that same month in December. And I said, I'm really liking it, but I'm only going to buy yarn for my next project. And I'm going to finish my project before I start another one. And that's just how it's going to be. So that lasted a few months, maybe 6 months. Because I was really enjoying it. So I was knitting so quickly that I had projects done and I had no new yarn to cast on. And where I lived before and now as well, I wasn't close to good quality fiber. And I was so new that online shopping couldn't do it. I needed to touch it. I needed to feel it. I needed to see how the colors worked. So it was like an hour and a half to Chicago and maybe an hour to some of the cities that are, suburbs that had some yarn stores. So that was I had to plan for that. So then I'm like, oh, it's okay. I'm going to buy some extra. So I have like a few projects ready to go. Well, then I learned about yarn crawls. Oh my goodness. So started with I think the Ileana yarn crawl Chicago yarn crawl was the first one that Marcia and I did together. And then I did the Ileana yarn crawl with my little one. I think she was 4 or 5 at the time. She went with me. Love yarn crawls. You could just see so many different things and different states. They just have different every yarn shop has a different vibe. They have different patterns. They have different yarns. Loved it. What we did the first time when we went was that we felt obligated to buy a project at every single store. Well, that obviously got costly really quick. Have since learned that I go in. So one of my philosophies that hasn't changed is I still like to be very targeted when I go in and buy. I like to have a list of projects I want to make. I still really tend to buy yarn for specific projects because I want to know that everything has a plan. And I would say of my stash, at least 80% has a plan, which I like. So did the yarn crawls, did Roving Indiana with my cousin Katie. yeah, and so really enjoyed that. But I would say, well, and in 3 weeks, the girls and I are going to the Rose City Yarn Crawl in Portland, Oregon. That's our big one. That's my big one for this year. So excited. I've never been to the Pacific Northwest. There's 10 shops that are going to be open. I've been Insta-stalking them all. There's some neat people that are going to be the House of a la Mode. Heather from the House of a la Mode, the dyer's going to be there. Caitlin Hunter is going to be there at Natty Lamb. Starlet Knitting Society is going to have the Spincycle girls. Mowrey, I think it's Mowrey Wool and Company. I could have that wrong. They're going to be at Natty Lamb too. I'm going to Natty Lamb 2 days at least. I'm sure there's other people, but I haven't got them. They don't all have them posted. So super excited about that. So that's the big one this year. But what I've noticed, because I don't live by yarn shops anymore, I'm really converting or changing over to online yard clubs from indie dyers that I like. So that has been new this year. And I'm really excited about that change. So another thing that I love that we're in the process right now that's helped me with establishing my fiber community. I found FiberShare and also Wool Swap. I do them both, love them both. The first, so what they both are is they are yarn swaps that you do with people either nationally. Well, I live in the United States, so within our 50 states, or internationally. When I first did FiberShare, I did internationally, and I have made awesome friends, Lynn and Anita from Canada and Norway. Love them. And then I found Wool Swap. So what I am choosing to do is Wool Swap I do for international, and the FiberShare I do just in the continental United States. So that's what's working for me. If you have not heard of those shares, they're pretty cool. They match you up. You get to know your swappers. Right now, Allie is swapping with me. She's sending to me from FiberShare, and then I am sending out to Knitty Dragon she's in Ohio. So Knitty Dragon knits. So super excited about that. I've enjoyed shopping for her and myself, and I've so enjoyed Allie and getting to know her. We're actually going to be doing, we decided we're going to do a couple knit-alongs, just the two of us, and maybe I'll share that with you next time if that's of interest. Maybe we'll do it as a big group. I don't know, but I'm really excited for that. That also helps with that 20% of my stash that doesn't have a job or a project. I'm happy to share that with others because I have a lot. All right, so we're going to take just a quick break, not a long one. I do want to shout out to Lynn and also to Tia, who is my most recent Wool Swap partner, both from Norway. They sent me these teas, which I love. So it's organic lemon ginger fusion, which is what I'm drinking today. And then I was also sent organic white tea with orange, both from Clipper, which apparently, I don't know that much about them, but they must be over in Europe. I'm assuming Norway, but maybe just over in Europe. But anyway, love those teas. That's the tea that I'm drinking today. I am definitely a tea drinker. No coffee here. All right. So one of the things that I would like to do for myself in this podcast, this is one of the things I was talking with you about accountability. So all of my finished objects leave I call it my stamping room or my creative room. They leave here and they go out into, I've got a whole cabinet that we built. I'll pop a picture in, and they all go there. Now, one of the things that I am not good with, so I'm hoping that this will help me provide some accountability. As I said, I love knitting. I get it off the needles quick. Makes me super happy, but I am not a good finisher. Wah wah. The weaving of the ends and the blocking, I don't always do. So if you're not aware, in Iowa, well, the Midwest, it's been a crazy winter. We had an Arctic, the polar vortex, 50 degrees below windshield. It has been brutal. So I finished knitting this up, I want to say last summer, and just found it because I was looking for something to wear the other day. And I'm looking down at my notes to make sure that I have it and say it right. Mentolat, I think it's called. by Jocelyn Tunney, and I will make sure that I link that below. I hope. I'm just learning, so I'm going to figure out how to do that. And it's with Manos del Uruguay. It was a kit that I got, and I actually got the kit from String Theory Yarn Company. Check this one out. So I'm sure you've seen it before. Yeah. And it is just this long, awesome, warm, fuzzy, color blocked, just fantastic shawl. I know it's probably hard to see the colors, but this beautiful pink, then it goes into this awesome orange and red. Love it. Now what you'll notice, I don't know if you see it hanging off, all of the ends are not woven in, and it's not been blocked. So that's been done for over a year. I should say off the needles, not complete, for over a year. I would love to be wearing it right now, and I haven't finished it. So my goal is, by showing you, I'm going to show you a project. I don't know, I'll probably have a year's worth of projects like this. Hopefully not. I guess we'll find out. By showing it here, it's going to force me to get it done, and then I'll take some pictures and pop them on our Insta with wearing it out in the real world, out in the wild. But anyway, please comment and tell me I'm not the only one who does this, who has a pile of things that just are off the needles, but not quite complete. Would love to see one of yours that you have since blocked and are wearing and enjoying. So another thing we're going to talk about is new to me. I like watching and looking at the other yarn that other people get. So I don't know, I'm going to do that. So one of the things that I did, and I honestly forgot that I did it, I got this cute little box in the mail from Jimmy Bean's Wool. And I'm like, I didn't order anything from them. I have no idea. And that's a really cute little box. I forgot, and I'm going to cover some of this up. I forgot that I don't think there's any directions. No, there's no directions on this. I signed up, I don't know if you can see it that well, for this awesome kit they're doing and to make this shawl. The shawl is from Ambah, because I adore her. She designed it, and they're doing, it's in 12 parts. So they already wound the cute little yarn, wound and ready to go. And I believe it's all, let's see. Yep, January Tosh Shawl Club. It's all Madeline Tosh. It's 80 yards. So I'm assuming, I don't know that they'll all be 80 yards, but that's what this one is. And then they give you directions for just this portion, what you need to use for this yarn, and show you a little picture of what it looks like. So well done. I probably won't start it until I get more of them, because that's a long time to have needles, work a project on needles a year without it being done, but it's adorable. And I'm going to love getting these little boxes every month and seeing the yarn come and seeing the project come in pieces like that. So that's pretty cool. I'll link below. I'm pretty sure that you can still get it, I hope. The other thing I got, this is, I guess I should have unpackaged it, sorry. My first club that I've had mailed to me, and I'm going to have a few others coming in the next few months because I loved it. From Fiber of the People. This is their, I think it's called Bird in the Hand Club. She started one last year, and this is the first one. I'm going to see if I can try and insert the picture. She does the coolest thing. Taylor from Fiber for the People. She does, and she also does a podcast called Wool Needles and Hands. She's pretty amazing. She'll take a picture, an inspiration picture, and then she dyes yarn based on this. So this was this really rad hummingbird that she did. See if I can take the big skein out, if nothing else. So if I can show you the picture and then you can see this, I mean, the way she captured it, when Izzy and I saw her picture, her inspiration picture, and then saw this yarn, we're like, oh yeah, nailed it. It was amazing. And then she sends another complimentary mini skein, which I've recently become a sock knitter. So, you know, super excited about that. Yeah, so that came in, and then she sends the cutest little progress keepers that go with it. This is a feather. I'm not sure it's still in the bag. It's a little patina feather. It is adorable. So that came in the mail. I'm loving that club. I will probably be a lifer for her for clubs, because just her creativity and how she transforms a picture into yarn, blows my mind. She also, in the last club, and I think she's doing it in this club too, she does videos, like a process video and how she dyes it. So you can see what she did and when she decided to add more color. And Izzy is my 12-year-old daughter. She and I sit and we just watch it. We are just mesmerized by what she does. We love her. Okay, then the other two things I'm going to show you, because I did not buy anything in January. Those two things I actually bought in December. They were shipped in January, but they were bought in December because I was going to not buy anything to the Portland City Yarn Crawl. That's past tense because, oh my gracious, this last week, because of my fiber share partner, that's not happening anymore. I think I ordered from 4 different companies, I think. But one of the things I was lucky enough to get, and it became my Christmas present, one of my Christmas presents, and maybe you guys will know just by seeing this. I don't know if anybody can see it. I was lucky enough to snag the Grocery Girls Knit Sock Club, I don't know that it's a club. I don't think it's a club. It was their Christmas socks set, and it was from Cozy Posy Yarn Company, which I had never heard of. They're dyers from Canada. And it came with this cute little Grocery Girls charm. I probably can't see that. Super cute. And then this yarn, which is so fun. I haven't dug into it yet because I was trying to think. Well, then I became a sock knitter. And actually, if you know anything about me, I like deadlines. I like challenges. I like goals to get things off of. So I keep moving through my yarn. So I keep creating. And at the time, I was not a sock knitter. And then I'd been watching the Grocery Girls podcast for some time. Well, on the Ravelry group, they do their sock a month. And I'm like, I'm just going to do it in January. So I knit my first pair of socks in January. I don't know if I'm going to get one done in February or not. It's with cables. If I had the right needles for fingering weight, all my fingering weight yarn, I would. But sock needles, all the patterns were like 1 inch and 1.5 inch needles. Don't have any of those. That's on my list to get for the yarn crawl. So I found a DK one. I don't know. We'll see, because I have so many other things I want to do and want to get accomplished, so I'm not sure. But that will be a sock set in one of their sock challenges. The other thing I got, which I'm shocked that I have not knit up yet or cast on yet, I got a whole bunch of the Woolfolk Luft. I got it from Espace Tricot. I think I'm saying that right. Lisa and Melissa. I got it from their company because it's for their turtle dove. It's for the turtle dove sweater that they do. I'll put that in there too. But anyway, I've got a whole ton of that. This is the black, which I know they're numbered here. This is number 9. Sorry, my daughter just popped in. So anyway, I got a whole bunch of that, but I'm shocked. I haven't casted that on yet. I'm not quite sure why, but I just haven't. The other thing I got from Christmas, which I'm going to show you later in the finished FO, which is already knit up, was this NightShift shawl. All the yarn for the NightShift shawl. The whole set. We'll talk more about that later, but so excited. So moving on to works in progress. So you're going to notice a theme. It won't be all the time, but for right now, I'm so excited for the Portland Yarn Crawl. And I've got, I hope I'm not the only one who does this either. I've got yarn and outfits picked out based on yarn. So I've got like a sweater outfit, which I'm hoping to get done. That's a story we'll talk about in a bit. So I have the sweater outfit. I've got all kinds of things, which I'll share with you. So a lot of these are going to be geared and put together. The other thing I'm loving this year, I've really jumped on when people do challenges, because as we spoke about, I really like to have deadlines. I like that sense of community. I like to know I'm not the only one working on something at the same time. So a couple of them I'll share that I've passed. A couple of them are still going on. You can jump on and do it. This, I guess we'll first talk about, well, we'll just do the Rose City Yarn Crawl one. So, and I'm also kind of addicted to bags. I'll share some of them, but this is just one I made, so it's not super fancy. This is the mystery knit along for the Rose City Yarn Crawl. So of course this will get done before we go. I've got 3 more weeks. Clue 4. So this is all the way through clue 3, which I'm pretty excited about. It's using, oh yeah, another thing I'm hoping this will help me do, this podcast. I'm notorious for not remembering the names of the yarns that I use and all that good stuff. So my Ravelry isn't the most precise because I don't keep everything. So hoping from now on I keep things, I keep record of things, because people ask me on Insta and I'm like, I don't remember. So this is Woolen Boon, the lighter color. I got it. That was part of their Advent kit. This was part of the their big skein with the Advent kit. So I used it for this. I don't know if you can see all the cool flecks. Then this darker color, which just started being added in Clue 3. That color is from Hooker's Corner. That was Kathy's big set. It was her big, not set, her big skein, her full skein, and her Advent mini set. So really excited about that. I'm on Clue 3. Clue 4 just came out on Monday, so I've got to get cracking. I haven't started it yet. Clue 5, which is the last clue, comes out next Monday. So I'll have plenty of time because it's 3 weeks away. So plenty of time. That one will get done. So that's one of my works in progress. Another work in progress is, and this one's kind of on hold. This is, so another one of my wool swapper fiber friends, Kristen from Australia. We did a wool swap and it was so cool because wool swap's a little bit different than fiber share. Wool swap, you know, you are sending and receiving from the same person. And I've done 2 now. Both of them have been outstanding. I love both of the ladies. Kristen and I decided we both had similar tastes in yarn. We both like fingering. She's a crocheter who's heavily now into knitting. So she wanted to knit a shawl. We both loved Ambah O'Brien. We loved her. So what we did, which I've never done before, but I will do again in a heartbeat. I love it. We picked out one of Ambah's patterns. I'll link it. I think it's the Anessa. I don't know that I'm saying that right. I don't have the pattern right here. Shawl. I'll link it. Don't worry. And then we each bought yarn for each other for this pattern, with this pattern in mind. Yep. And I do have one I was trying to see because I'm horrible at this. So the wool she got me was all dyed and I believe milled in Australia. It's from the company Ash and Oak, which of course I'd never used before. It's their twisted sock, 75% merino, 25% nylon, 100 grams, 464 yards. Impala is the name of this speckled. So she got me this awesome speckle with like blues and yeah. And then I've got this one, and I don't remember the name, but I'll have to look it up. And I think this is Stonewash. So all these yarns, and look at how it's knitting up. I adore it. So here's the beginning of the stripes, and then there's this awesome lace section, which is so fun. And then more stripes. Yeah, I can't remember. You knit like 49 stripes, sets of stripes, and then you get into a huge lace section. And I think I'm on like the 42nd or something like that. So I'm almost done with my stripe section, but you'll see the needles are off of it right now. I'm using the stoppers with my interchangeables because I needed the same size to finish up my sweater, my Sunset Highway sweater, which I'm hoping to have done so I can wear at the yarn crawl, and also the Rose City Yarn Crawl Mystery knit along. They use the same needles. So I had to put this one on a little bit of a hold because the other 2 I'm planning to wear at Portland. So Sunset Highway sweater. Let's just talk a little bit. I love it, but I was knitting it. I was in the body section. And I did swatch, but it's only my second sweater, so I don't know that I'm that great of a swatcher yet. So I was knitting it, and I was worried. It was my first real big color block. I have since done a couple of the Patiki Cowls, which I'll talk about in a minute, and some different color works and hats. So I'm getting better, for sure getting better. But I'm like, oh, is it gathering too much at the top? I don't know. So last night I put the stoppers on and put it on a couple different cables, soaked it, and I am blocking it because I just want to make sure it's going to be okay. When I took a gauge swatch, or when I just measured over there while it's blocking, I measured it. It's supposed to be 24. I always do rows, my row count, but not necessarily or maybe that's backwards. I do my columns, but not necessarily my rows. My row count is, it's supposed to be 24 rows for 4 inches, and I'm at 30, I think. So I'm off. So I'm gonna have to think about that because I'm probably gonna run out of my main color. I bought the 2 skeins. I did what I did for the pattern. So I'm gonna have to think about that. And I'll show you, I'll probably take a picture. The blocking, one part, you can tell where I just got better at it. The bottom part of the color work looks much better. The top part, the beginning part, I was too tight. But I'm debating on it. I'm gonna wait till it dries and then I'll try it on. I think I'm gonna go with it because it's my first color block sweater and it's not horrible. And it'll look fine. So I think I'm gonna go with it and not rip it out because I really do want to wear it for the yarn crawl. So I'm pretty sure that that's gonna happen. I guess we'll know in a bit. We'll decide. We'll see. The other thing that I have going on, so Kathy from Hooker's Corner, I have adored her yarn ever since last March when I found her. We went to Nashville for spring break last year. The girls and I, we do early girls yarn trips all the time. So we went down to Nashville and I found Bliss Yarns, which is a fantastic yarn shop. If you are in the Nashville area, you are blessed because love her, love Debbie. So she had Hooker's Corner yarn and I bought some. I have since bought like whole sweater quantities worth. I bought her advent kit. Yeah, bought quite a bit. My daughter bought Anne with an E. She likes to crochet animals. So she bought the Anne with an E and the DK weight, which at the time I didn't use DK weight that much. I just recently got on a hat kick. Thanks mostly to Caroline at Knitting Vicariously, her podcast, because on one of her first ones, she talked about pom-poms. So of course, then I love them and I had to go buy 30 of them. So now I've been on this huge hat kick because I have to use these snap pom-poms that I adore, that I bought. So anyway, this Anne with an E DK weight, my daughter's using it to make a bunny and it's just been sitting and I'm just loving it. I'm like, that would be the coolest hat known to life. Well, Kathy's house and all of her dye studio was lost in the fire, the campfire in California, which has been that's been all over. She's been very open about that, and people have donated with a GoFundMe account. The fiber community's really supported her, which is just so cool to see. But anyway, after that, I'm like, I need this Anne with an E. I need to make a hat with this. How am I going to find it? She's not going to be dying for a while. So I went on a hunt, had it at a couple stores, but then I tried to call in and buy it, but I don't know, the connection wasn't good. Then they sold it while, like in the 10 minutes while I was waiting to hear back or something like that. But then I found it at Pearl 2 Walla Walla. She had it, she snapped a picture, and I called and got it, along with House Ala Mode and some other yarns. So anyway, this hat was for Pearl 2 Walla Walla, had a really cool selfish knit-along that she did. It just ended. I can't remember the dates. I think it was mid-January through February 10th. I think it just ended. But anyway, you were supposed to pick some projects and have selfish knits. So this is one of mine. I did this hat and, oh no, this hat was before then, but I did another hat for that project and another Patiki Cowl. And then I'm making I've got another cowl here. So anyway, here is the hat. How fun is that? I love it. And this pon-pon, which I'll show a little bit later, but this is one of the ones that Caroline tipped me off to. It's from, I believe, an England person. Someone in England makes it. I'll link it below. And then this is my other whip. This is my Patiki Cowl with my Anne with an E. The leftover yarn from here is here. And then the other yarn is from Ambah with Yarn Over Matter. She's another fiber share friend. She's a dyer. She lives in Idaho. Adore her. So anyway, it works awesome with the Hooker's Corner. So this is going to be one of my yarn crawl. This probably goes over the mic. One of my yarn crawl outfits. The hat and the Patiki Cowl. Now, the Patiki Cowl would have been done a while ago. But in this really awesome geometric pattern, I'll put a picture in. If you make one little mistake, it throws the whole thing off. And I did that. So I actually ripped the whole thing out once already and started it again. So this is, because I've already made one and then I ripped it out. I was almost done. This is take 3. But now I've got a really great rhythm to it. And so I'm flying on this one and I'm loving it. Would highly recommend it. The pattern comes with the cowl and a hat as well, but I already had this hat. So yeah, I'm not making a pattern with the hat yet. And then I'll get you the name of the pom-pom. I believe it's Country Crafts, but I'm not 100%, but I'll link it. Look at that. It snaps on and off. And then you can wash your hat, which is amazing. But the other thing is, because I've been on a hat kick, I've made both of the girls' hats. My youngest, Cece, she has changed her pom-pom. I can't even tell you how many times. 4 or 5 times. It seems like every week she's changing her pom-pom and it makes her hat look different. So we are getting the biggest kick out of this. So that is that. That is my last work in progress that I have. That'll be one of my outfits for the yarn crawl, which I'm super excited about. So another couple things that are really fun that I'll show you, and they're part of my both of them are part of my outfits for the yarn crawl, which is why I am bringing these in, and they're all recent. So House Olive Mode, which I will see Heather, the dyer, is going to be, I think on Sunday, I believe that's March 10th, at Naughty Lamb. So she has a really cool Facebook group Ravelry group that I don't get to as much as I'm not on Ravelry as much as I am on Insta, but I popped in and they do fun knit-alongs, seasonal knit-alongs. So and they always pair with a designer. They did a Boyland Knitworks, and right now they're doing an Andrea Mowry. Well, I happen to have this yarn. This one was part of the Selfish Knit from Purl to Walla Walla too. But I had this yarn, which is really fun, from Purl to Walla Walla, and I'm like, I'm going to make a hat. So I did, and this is the Go pattern, and it's hard to see. I will admit, it's hard to see. There's some like arrows that happen down here on the hat. So it's difficult to see it, but the color is going to be amazing with my Sunset Highway sweater when I get it done. So this I'm rocking out. I hope it's cold enough. I don't know. I'm rocking this out as well for the Rose City Yarn Crawl. So look for that, and then I'll pop a picture of my Sunset Highway, and I'll have it done in the next couple weeks, and I'll show you because it's going to be amazing. So that's what that is for, but it was also for that awesome challenge with Purl to Walla Walla. Now, what I like about them, there seem to be, I'm sure it's in store, but I'm half a country away, but they also have online people, and you just have to buy the yarn at their shop. And I know they're doing another one. I want to say the Instagram said it started in April. I'm not positive, but they're fantastic to work with people who don't live there. So I know I'll pick yarn out and I'll be doing that with them because I love to. So one last one that I have done, and this is, so it's a finished FO, but it's also for a challenge that I need to tell you guys about. It's a long challenge. This is with Primrose Yarn Company and also Boyland Knitworks, and it's a good one. I'll link to it. It's also in their Ravelry group, and then on Insta. I posted on Insta too. They've got a hashtag for it. But if you use all Primrose yarn and get projects done, it's October, I think, to end of October of this year. But anyway, they've got some pretty amazing prizes that you can win. So this is my hat for that. This one will eventually, which I'm not going to have enough time, like I already know, but this one in my head is going to work awesome with the turtle dove sweater. That's what I've got this going for. Yeah. And so this is the coffee or cardamom and coffee hat by Boyland Knitworks. Isn't that the coolest? And actually I had a kit already in my stash. I think it was for maybe a Changes cowl. Not positive. No, Changes shawl, maybe. I don't know. But I bought a kit. It was all Primrose, and I never knit it. So as I was reorganizing my stash at the beginning of the year, just kind of going through everything because there's a lot of cubbies, there's a lot of yarn, and trying to say like, okay, do you really still like this pattern? Do you want to reappropriate? I knew that the Boyland Knitworks had this challenge going on. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to change it to that. And then the extra I'm going to use for the Immortalist cowl. That's a DK weight cowl, and this is all fingering weight. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to just hold it double and go for it. That's my plan. But this, I'm really excited. This is what helped make my color work better, which is why my sweater will hopefully turn out better, but I don't know if you can see it. I like anything geometric, so I really like that. And my stranded color work got so much better during this project. So, and another pon, because it's adorable. So that is that one. So I'll link, but that's a great challenge. It's going on, it's through October 2019 is what my notes say. I have a plan to do the cowl. I have a sweater quantity of yarn here that I want to do. I want to make that, and also a shawl of Boyland Knitworks. So that's all in the plans. I think that's about, oh, so there's another challenge, which I've already done one shawl for, and I don't know if I'll get this done. It's by the end of February, so probably not, but I've already got one shawl done. But it is with Lisa Haynes, which she goes by Maliha, Maliha Designs. I'm probably saying that horribly wrong. But anyway, she's really geometric in her patterns. This is one of hers that I found. It's DK weight, and it's with Malabrigo. I'm assuming Malabrigo maybe, I don't know, commissioned her to do it originally, because it's all with Malabrigo yarn. So I got yarn a while back from, it had to be a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, from a yarn store here that's closed. It's no longer here. But I'm using it for this project. So I just wound it up the other day. Again, I don't know that I will get it done by February, but with how cold this winter's been, I've been really loving the thick DK weight shawls. So these, and this is another, like, I'm bad, didn't keep it. These two are Malabrigo. I know that they're the same one. I'm not sure on the color, but maybe some of you amazing people will know the colorway. I'm not sure, but it's got like pretty blues and purples and teals. It's just really neat. And then I'm going to pair it, my lighter color, I'm going to pair it with this one. So I'm pretty pumped. This one I do have another skein of, so I know I can get the name of it. I will get better about that. So that is going to be something that if I get it done, we'll see. But if you are looking to get a geometric pattern done, the Mahala Designs, and I'll link again with her Ravelry group. They have a winter knit along. It's through the end of February, and I've already got one done, so I don't feel this need to get another one done, but you know. Oh, and the other thing, last thing I wanted to tell you about is talk about the night shift that I just got done, and another awesome challenge that's happening if you want to jump in on that. So I'm going to move my microphone. I know, I can't believe I clipped that to my beautiful shawl. But I did it without hurting it too much, so that's okay. I know this is clumsy, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just learning. It's all new. Okay, so Starlight Knitting Society, which is a yarn shop out in Portland. Sorry about that. They are... they teamed up with Spincycle, which Spincycle is going to be, the Spincycle girls are going to be at their shop, I think on Friday. I think it's on the 9th. Not 100%, but I will be there whatever day it is, because I am meeting them. I'm pretty sure they're doing their trunk show, so there's going to be a ton of Spincycle, so I'm there. But anyway, so they're doing this knit along. You do not have to buy the yarn at Starlight Knitting Society, but I'm sure they would love it if you did. I got this for Christmas. My husband and my kids they found, I know it was hard. I know that they were sold out pretty much everywhere, but he found the original kit for the NightShift shawl. So he got that for me. So I already had it at home. I know you have to cast on after January 23rd, which this is totally after, and it goes through March 23rd. I have that written down because, nope, not this one. This one. This is another bag I made. I've already done one night shift, but my youngest has kind of just taken that over. And I have the yarn, the original colors. Two are wound up. This one's not. This one is the Castle. And then I think the other were Leaf and Meadows, the Meadows, that Andrea used for her original shift. I am making another one with this. So, yeah, So this one I'll probably cast on at some point in March. Again, if I get it done, great. If not, it's no big deal because I already have one done for that challenge because, you know, I like challenges. But here it is. Here's the night shift. And the sun's coming in, so it's going to be a little bit too sunny over there. Isn't it awesome? This is their dream state. This is my favorite part up here where it really starts to shift the colors really fun. I'm going to see if I can move the whole camera. Sorry, my light, I knew. There we go. You can see it better. Yep. So fun. This has been the most warm, cozy, lovely shawl this winter. I've loved every second of wearing that. So that's been lovely. The dream state was awesome to work with. The colors shifted just as you wanted them to and thought that they should. So just fabulous. But anyway, so there's a fun challenge going on with that, or knit along, I should say, going on with that. Still another month. So I'm hoping to get my other one on the needles and get that done. And one other thing, I don't know if you noticed, and I should have had a shout out. Did you see these bags that two of my projects are in? So this one's a really cute llama bag. They've got a drawstring. I'm going to talk way more about these adorable bags, I think for the next podcast. But my friend here from Quad Cities, Emily of KALM Collections, she's an amazing sewer. She sews kids' clothes and all kinds of things. Her daughter and my daughter are friends, and we're friends, of course, too. Excuse me. She knits or sews amazing work. So she was seeing me knit at a volleyball game, and I'm like, you are amazing. I need more bags. You should make bags. Like the next week, she had 2 bags made. Here's another one. I love these succulents. But anyway, she had these bags made, and I told her she needs to make more, and we need to do a giveaway, and she needs to sell them. And she did. So I'm hoping that I can have her come to the next one that I do, this next podcast. And we'll do, I'm giving away a skein of yarn. It's going to be Hooker's Corner, which is like a rare commodity. But okay, sorry. I had a national sales meeting buzz in, so I'm going to have to go work now. But thank you so much for getting this far into the podcast. I can't believe that I talked this long. I'm sure I'll edit some of that out. But it's just been a pleasure. I've enjoyed it. I cannot wait to see you. I'm not sure yet how quickly. I think before the yarn crawl, it'll probably be every week because I'm getting a lot of stuff done. I don't know, but I'm enjoying it. So as long as I'm enjoying it, we're going to keep doing it. Thanks again. Gosh, it was fun. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Please leave any comments of what I can do better or what you would like to see, or that you have projects that you haven't woven in and blocked yet either. All right, guys. Thanks. Have a good one.